This is zoning petition. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to call the meeting to order and then could you call the roll, please?
Member Zarab,
Here.
Member Rahman,
Here.
Member Schultz,
Here.
Member Moran,
Here.
Member Murphy.
Here.
Chairman Carthel.
Here. And I trust we have no public comment or
I was going to.
go right
I
ahead.
was just gonna formally tell you guys that I did submit my letter of resignation. Want to express that it was a privilege serving with this board, the prior boards. One chairman the whole time in the almost 20 years. And thank the various chairmen that have appointed me and I've served under there. And I look forward to in the future appearing before this board on some other zoning matters representing clients.
Great, great. Look forward to seeing you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may make one comment.
Certainly.
Jason Blumenthal, Assistant Director of Operations. On behalf of the County Board Office, thank you very much for your dedicated service. We truly appreciate everything you did in your.
Well, I
dedicated
appreciate that.
service. So we truly appreciate it.
That is great. Yeah, my answer to the letter or the email to the chairman was by her administrative assistant saying, we accept your resignation.
And that was because I'm gonna send you a formal one.
Oh, I-
Just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
We don't get to vote on that, do we?
Sadly, no.
All right, and we have no minutes to approve. And then that takes us to our public hearing, the petition 25015 Mamalat LLC. And this is a request for conditional use for a planned development to allow 2 attached dwelling units on 2 adjacent lots in the R4 Single Family Residence District with the following exceptions. Number 1, reduce the front yard setback for proposed lot 1 and lot 2 from the required 30 feet to approximately 20.5 feet. Number 2, to reduce the north interior side setback for proposed lots 1 and from required 20 feet to approximately 10 feet. Number 3, to reduce the south interior side setback for proposed lot 1 from the required 20 feet to approximately 6.44 feet. Number 4, to reduce the north interior side setback for proposed lot 2 from a required 20 feet to approximately 6.44 feet. Next, 5, to reduce the south interior side setback for proposed lot 2 from required 20 feet to approximately 10 feet. Finally, number 6, to increase the floor area ratio from the permitted 0.25 to approximately 0.5 for proposed lots 1 and approximately 0.48 for proposed lot 2. The matter's been circulated to the various county authorities and neighboring municipalities. We have no comments. And then we customarily start out with a survey as exhibit 1 and a site plan as exhibit 2. I know we have a packet here, but do you have a formal survey for the record?
Yeah, that
Hearing
would
exhibit,
be this.
pardon me, that, okay, so that's, which is that? I can't tell from.
This
here.
is the survey,
The site plan.
And then the site plans.
Okay, what's the dates? Well, they're current.
Yeah, these are from 3/11/2025.
Okay. And let's have you be sworn in, sir, and then we'll go over the rest of the exhibits.
Would you raise your right hand, please? You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give at this cause and out hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Okay, your name and spell your name, please, and then tell us your address.
It's Dan Mamalat. It's DANMAMALAT. My full name is Bogdan, GDAN.
Speak up a little bit, please.
My address is 0N654 in Brandon Boulevard in Winfield. Right down the street from here. And today I'd like to talk to you guys about doing a zoning request for 2 properties that I own with the company under Mamalat LLC, which is a company I own with my dad.
Okay, let's get the exhibits first. You gave us a packet. Is that Are you gonna refer to all of these in your presentation so that they have to be exhibits?
Yes, sir. I was just gonna go down the list kind of, and I have everything paged out. We can kind of jump to the survey.
I've already said survey is one, site plan is two.
Yeah,
So you have a municipality map here.
yeah, it's just something I wanted to touch on for the city of Eola, because,
So that'll be three. A rental map is four. Zoning map is five. Wetlands map is six. Sidewalk extension picture, I guess, is seven.
Yep.
Indication of street parking is eight, and petitions are nine. I don't know, let's see what that, let me look at the petition. What, petition for two new duplexes, well, that states that, what, this is a list of names and addresses of, 1, 2, 3, 4 people with their signatures, but it's not in the. I don't quite know what's going on. First of all, I don't know this notary. What is being notarized? It does not indicate.
it was just, that was a form that I spent a couple hours this week. I stopped by the neighborhood and I pretty much went and knocked on doors and I told them what I was doing. I showed them the survey, the blueprint, that I was gonna try to put a duplex in an area that was single family. I just asked if people were against it, and if they were or weren't, and if they were for it, if I could just get their address and sign off on it. So that's all that page was, is I had 4 people that signed off on it. There's like a bunch of renters over there that didn't sign off on it because they said they weren't owners, so I didn't put them on the list. But I was told to get that page notarized, so I did today, and I put it on our list.
Whose signature?
Mine's right above that.
Okay, well, you better fix this, petition up. First of all, I think a petition should say what it is that's being petitioned for. So, this does not indicate that, and then the notaries have to be, I see a stamp and a signature apparently of a notary, but usually there's the name printed beneath both your signature blank and the notary's. So if you could, fix that and then resubmit it. But then, go right ahead with your, presentation.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for meeting me today in the afternoon hours. It's my first time doing this. I didn't know it was done in the afternoon, so it's kind of our dinner time, so thank you. But just starting from the beginning, I know we have 6 lists that I was requesting for conditional use for the planned development. The line item 1, if we could cross that out, we actually fixed that on this survey and site plan. We just moved the building back to correct that, so that's a non-issue anymore.
So you're withdrawing front yard setback for proposed lot 1 and lot 2 from 30 feet to 20.5 feet?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna meet that requirement. That was an easy fix on our end. But all the other ones, definitely we will need. So what we have here is, a proposed development for 2 duplex units and 2, units that have pretty much 4 doors. Each lot has 7,331 square feet on it. And it will hold a 2-story structure with 1 garage per unit and 3 total parking spots outside and 1 in the garage. So right now it's zoned R4, single family, which includes no constraints or preserved features that I'm aware of right now. And the current setbacks are 10-foot side yards, 30-foot front, and 20-foot rear. And if we were to go to a multifamily, it's a 20-foot side, 30-foot setback, and 20-foot rear, according to my knowledge. But having that multifamily restriction on this particular build, that would give us a 20-foot buildable lot. So it would just pretty much make it impossible to put like a living space there for two individuals, or you'd have to make like one on top of the other. It'd look like an apartment. It wouldn't really match that neighborhood at all. So our combined lots are 14,633 square feet. And they're already pre-split when I bought them last year. There's excellent utility access and road frontage. We don't have, no environmental constraints or wetland issues, which I will touch on the wetland issue with the wetland map, a little further on in our meeting. The current and previous, service land is, 2,472 square feet per lot. We are required to do post-construction best management practice. The volume is 257.5 cubic feet per lot. That will be integrated to manage stormwater and to run off, effectively and improve water quality and meet DuPage County, stormwater ordinance requirements. And these may include, rain gardens and underground storage or pervious surfaces where feasible. Since we are asking to increase the floor ratio from 0.25 to 0.5, we will be installing a dry well on each lot in the backyard to help accommodate the water runoff and help stormwater drain better, not cause any issues to the, neighbors or anybody around. So you can see that here in the plan, we have a big box that would show where we would pretty much take any water that's coming off the roof and we would funnel it to the back. And also to keep in mind, this neighborhood has a 15-foot easement back here, which is like an alleyway that is designed for the water to run off smoothly. And I think it had something to do with like older septic system lines would run through there as well. So everybody's kind of using that, but I wanted to put in that dry well, just to, be able to reach that higher square footage number. So if you look a little bit closer here on this, plan, there's a sidewalk that is cut off on both sides of the lot, from the one neighbor to the other, and it stretches about 120 feet. So we would be installing a new sidewalk and connecting those to increase neighborhood safety for pedestrians and just to keep the neighborhood trend of development going. During construction, here you can see where a dumpster goes, where gravel would be, where a concrete dump would go. We would have a silt fence around the property to not encroach any dirt while digging, to the neighbors. We'll also have a chain link fence, going around, the whole property to help manage, proper safety and to lock everything up at night so no kids can get in there or anything like that. So that was some of the things for the survey portion. If you guys have any questions for that, I would be ready to jump into, let's see. Probably page 10.
Cool. I don't have any numbers on my pages.
They're the blue one on the bottom right. They're kind of small. I tried to make them color coded.
Okay, some of the pages are numbered.
Oh, sorry about that.
What are we looking for?
It was just the elevation page pretty much of just what we were proposing to build on there.
We're on this page here, the real tiny numbers on the bottom right in blue.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I tried to make them as big as possible and put a different color on it, but they are small. I apologize about that.
All right, go right ahead.
So this is what the exterior elevation would look like for one of the lots. I have a similar drawing. If you would just skip 4 pages and you would see that all we did is it's a mirror copy, but it's just got a different layout for the siding, or you're a little bit too far ahead. We'll go to,
Is there a number for this?
Yeah.
This now?
there is a number for that, but you'd be at page 14, sir. There it is.
I was on page 14. What am I supposed to go to now?
There's two of those. You could stay on.
All right,
Yeah. Pretty much all I have is I just have two samples. I'll hold it up here so you guys don't have to flip. But all it is just showing a little bit of a different design for how the elevation would be on the front of the house. That's pretty much it. What we would have on the first floor is, kitchen and like a typical family room, and upstairs it would be a 3-bedroom with a 2.5 bath with a 1 garage attached duplex. For the inside also, we would have a fire safety wall out of CMU. So that would also, protect the neighbors if there's anything to happen. Also helps with any type of noise constraints from the neighbors. And I believe our dimension here is about 46 foot wide by 41. So it's pretty much like a little box. If we were to build a single family home here, it would be pretty much the same dimension. But here we're able to get more doors and a more higher tax value for the city, and also utilize the water that they brought in from Aurora, because it wouldn't be well and septic anymore. It would be the Aurora, water and their sewer. And we would be the first ones to tap into that one on that street so far that I'm aware of. So that would be one big benefit. Also, we would put a fence around the whole property. I know some neighbors were concerned of kids running around. There's definitely going to be a feature for that there. Also, there's going to be any of our roof lines will meet height requirements and will maximize the proper curb appeal of the neighborhood. We're not doing anything too modern or too simple. It's going to match whatever's there. The street behind us is a new subdivision or portion of the neighborhood that was built in 2002. And they're all bigger houses that are over 2,000 square feet, maybe 3,000 square feet properties. So we're going to try to match with them. And I talked with a lot of those owners. They're all for this, because all the homes that are left are pretty much like over 100 years old. We're going to be maintaining all the code compliance summaries for life safety, ADA, fire, and drainage. I will have estimated construction timeline and contractor information on site, easy to access. I do have letters of support from public outreach with that petition that we can touch on later. So the proposed duplex, I believe, is consistent with the goals of DuPage County. Comprehensive land use policies. It provides increased housing and flexibility, efficient land use without overburdening the infrastructure. Some of the benefits that this bill would do to the neighborhood is it would just increase the housing supply and diversity. It's a modest increase without any neighborhood disruption. The lots are there, availability is there. Street, has another duplex down the street. There's actually an industrial zone like right past it. So we're not going to be doing any type of, high traffic or inflicting on any traffic issues by putting these homes there. It's going to maintain the residential character. We're going to meet all the parking. I know there's some parking issues that arose from one of the neighbors, but we will be able to have parking for 3 cars in the driveway per door and 1 in the garage, which is more than sufficient. I would say most single families will have 2 cars. We'll be able to have 4. I think we're looking out for, even if somebody was, to have people over, they're not gonna be putting cars on the street. But to touch on that, I do have a picture here. Guys, when I go to page 20, it's the second last page. If you look on the kind of center to the right, a lot of, in that neighborhood, when you first pull in, there's like a lot of permanent street parking. And I figured if there was an issue of anybody parking on an unincorporated street like that, they would have probably put in a parking sign by now. So if for some adequate reason, we had to exceed our 4 parking spots in the driveway, we'd still be able to safely park on the side of the road like everybody else. We could touch on we could flip to page 15. And it'll take us to the municipality. So you can see the highlighted portion, that's where our lot's located. It's pretty much this little subdivision. My understanding is all that's left of the Eola area. And they're trying to get it to kind of come over to either Aurora or Naperville, but the water would be coming from Aurora, but we would be still under the township of Naperville somehow. It's kind of a bit confusing to me, but I just wanted to show how little the town of Eola actually is. And how close we are to the main road and the railroad tracks. Then if you want to flip to the next page, page 16. So after walking around, I spoke with as many neighbors as I could. And I learned a lot about the neighborhood. Everybody was super happy to talk with me. I probably spent like 30-40 minutes with each person. It was crazy. Just being honest. I put a red cloud around all the properties that are currently rented. And then there was one that I found out that was a boarding home. And you can see in the legend, I just put red as rental property, purple is boarding house. The ones that have no cloud are private homes. Maybe some of those private homes are rented, but you can see that I'm pretty much surrounded by rental properties. From the back and the front and left and right of me. So I feel that this neighborhood already supports a lot of rental homes, which would be perfect for what we're trying to do. And also on the bottom left, you'll see that is already a duplex that got changed a few years back and has been like that. I think it started as a duplex, went to single family, and then came back to a duplex, all within 100 years or so. So if you guys want to flip to page 17, which is the next one. I was on the map for the county viewer and I was trying to get the subdivisions kind of broken out per zone as best I could. So I highlighted everything that was R2, or sorry, R4 is the orange. R5 is the multifamily, that's in gray. And you can see that little duplex. You can see that across the main street is a bunch of townhomes. Right as you pull in on the right is a bunch of townhomes on the north left side. And there's a Jewel Osco, that is that B2, that's the red. There's a bunch of restaurants there. Our proximity to all these zones are super close. And also down the street on Old Eola, you'll see that we have that big purple area, which is zoned I2 industrial. So we get a ton of big semi trucks that come through there. There's a post office on the corner there. That road can handle, any big traffic. There's actually a turnaround for their semi trucks for the railroad station because they bring in a ton of metal or whatever equipment, they might need over there. If you guys want to flip to the next page, page 18. I marked the two lots with a blue square, just so it's easier to reference. I know there's a ton of lines on this one. But this is just referencing the wetlands, from 2022 in 1 foot contours. As you can see, we have a good drainage that goes down a couple feet as it goes south and to the left. We don't have any wet or critically wetlands that would come up as red on the map anywhere near the house. You could see that valley or that easement in the backyard for everybody. That helps for the water to flow down. And then, for the last one, if you guys want to flip one more page. This is just a picture showing the property right now. It's in reference to us installing a sidewalk to continue the neighborhood trend from this lot to the other. It's missing. You can see that that path is walked on, it's tampered down. I saw people walking their dog on it this week. We would be continuing that to try to help the neighborhood look better, have it be safer. Kids can ride their bikes on it, do whatever they please. And this is the only part of the street that actually has this, and we'd be extending it and connecting that kind of empty spot. So. That said, I really appreciate you guys' time and listening to everything I had to say on this. We can really have your help on getting this change over from the R4 to the R5 to be able to put this into there.
We'll go over that piece again.
Well,
You want help doing what?
just to get the approval for the zoning relief.
What did you say, R4 to R5? What was that about?
Well, it's, we'd be going from residential to a multifamily.
Okay, you're not asking for a request to change the underlying zoning in your petition.
Yeah, it would be conditional use, so I apologize. Sorry for that. Yeah, so it'd be for conditional use. To get those, restrictions. And, yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer to the best of my knowledge.
Oh. Gave us a lot of information, but it was a little thin on the zoning requirements. No, I'm not gonna ask any questions. Anybody else have any questions?
And I have a question. He did publish that he wanted this change, so right?
Publish this, conditional use.
And that'll cover.
He's not
R5?
asking for R5.
He's not asking.
Well, he said he was, but then he's not.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Anybody else?
I do, I have a couple. How many square feet is each duplex?
Each duplex
Look
is
at
about 1,400.
1,400?
Yeah, but the total, I believe, is like 24 and some change if you combine them together. Have it right here.
And these will be, I'm noticing crawl spaces?
Yeah, yeah.
You say CMU all the way up from crawl space to
No,
D?
it'll be concrete.
Well, I meant for
Oh, for the
separation.
firewall. Yes, that'll be CMU.
And then was there a reason? Because 1,400 square feet's nice size. I'm just looking at your front view. Was there a reason you didn't want to go two-car garage?
It just wouldn't fit with the lot restrictions, because we needed a someplace to put a front door without doing like a side entrance.
Kind of see that.
So I thought about putting a sidewalk on the side, but I thought I'd get in trouble by being even closer to the other neighbors where we're already trying to push the boundary. So I just thought we'll make it one car, and try to fit with what we have to work with.
Okay, and then, yeah, so these are gonna be rentals. You're not
Yeah,
selling them.
I'm not selling them, we're keeping.
Okay, that's the only questions I have.
Anybody else? Is that your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll close the hearing and consider the matter at our recommendation meeting, which is, what's the dates for June 5 at 5:30 in this room? No matter, we're only going to consider what's in this record. There's a lot of collateral stuff, but as I said, a little thin on the zoning requirements. So, we'll proceed on June 5 at 5:30 with recommendation. Thanks. Close the hearing and I'll indicate there's no old business or new business, and so we're ready to adjourn.